Hello and welcome to part 2 of SAP Complex ABAP Report to RAPO data conversions video. In this today's video, we will actually look into how we can actually go and uh, refine our ABAP code in order for us to actually utilize it in RAP. So if you have not watched my earlier video, please go and watch it so that you you will understand what we are doing here. As this video is a continuation of the previous video. So let me just show you what we were uh, where we have stopped. So let me go to my Eclipse. And last time what we have done is we have just gone and created our class, okay, a custom class. We have created our data definition which is a custom entity. Okay, let me make it root, because generally root entity should be there should be one root entity here. Okay, and which will actually fetch the data from this class. Okay, and that is a ABAP class. No more SQL. You don't need to know the SQL script and everything. If you know ABAP, you are still good of creating your complex RAP reports using complex ABAP report using RAP. Okay, so now let us in this case, in this class, we have already seen that we have gone and implemented uh, interface IF RAP query provider that has a select method wherein we have filled in the data, then came here, created our service definition, wherein we have actually exposed this particular entity as contact address and created a service binding out of it of OData V2 protocol. And now let us go and preview. So once we preview, let me now go to our browser and show you how it will work. Let me show you that. Okay, so this is what our uh, screen looks like. Now you see this is just a blank screen, no selection field, no column header, nothing. Okay, so the person has to come here, set the address here, adapt a filter here. Okay, all those things will be here, and then everything will be actually taken here. Now all those things we will have to actually go and use as usual our UI annotations that we have been looking into for quite a long time now with my normal uh, read-only application, our managed scenario. We have been looking into all those annotations. I am not going to go again with all those annotations. Rather, let me just quickly show you what are the changes that we will have to do. So let me go to my Eclipse and now show you what are the changes that we have to do uh, in our entity here, this entity. Okay, so now this entity has to be now enriched with the annotation so that we will get the result in RAP whatever way we want. So let me quickly do that and probably get back to you okay on that. So I will pause here and actually build all the annotations and come back quickly. Okay, so let us see what we have actually added to our entity. I have just added a header info that will give me the contact address, a title and description for the object page. Then I have actually defined my facet. Uh, there are two facets that we need to actually go and display. I am displaying the personal details in one facet and the address in another facet. Okay. One is identification reference, one is a field group reference. And I am also defining some data reference, data point reference If you don't know what data points reference are there, what headers are there, please go and watch my first series on creating RAP read-only applications. I think video number 4, where you have actually explained, or video number 6, I believe, that you can actually go and watch, um, so that you understand what these data points are. So what I have done here is that I have gone and actually created my data point reference, uh, and some of the uh, annotations for line item, data point. Okay. One thing is new here that I have not shown you so far. There is an annotation called consumption.filter. So whenever you have added a selection screen, um, selection field, UI selection field as a filter criteria, this will go and add to our filter bar. And in that filter field, if you want to actually give some default value, you can give here, and you can make that mandatory as well. So this is how you can make your selection parameter mandatory, as what we have in our ABAP. You can also give a default value. Now this default value cannot be uh, a calculated value here. Okay, it should always be a fixed value, because this is just a view or a view entity that we are creating. It will not generate the default, the complex values that we need to go and fill in here. So there is no way that we can actually go and give those particular values as a value, uh, as a default value for those selection screen parameters. Those can be done using the SAP UI5 Fury, JavaScript. We are not going to actually look into here, but somebody has asked me that can I go and create a filter and assign the value which is again complex, like date plus 2 or something of that sort. Cannot be done here, guys. Okay, just a fixed value you can actually give here. I'm just passing the default value as blank and mandatory. Okay, and the rest others are like similar data points and stuff like that. Let me activate this, and let us now see with this change what is that we are getting on our um screen. So let me go to my browser now. Where is my browser? Yeah. So let us now go to our browser and then probably see, refresh this and see. Okay. Once we refresh this, now what is happening is, you see the first name is has come as mandatory. Sorry, has come as mandatory. This star sign is there. First name, gender, can vote, and stuff like that. Okay, is actually shown here in our UI element. I should have actually gone and added first name, middle name, and last name here, but that's fine. Okay, you get it. And now when we say go, it says that first name is a required field. So you have to give something here. Let me give Munir here and try to actually go and fetch the data. And you see there was a query not implemented, requested feature is not implemented, exception was raised. Okay, so these kind of things will come in. So we will have to go and now refine our code in such a way that we should be able to understand how we can actually go about doing those. Okay, now how we will, so what we will do is we will try to debug our code. That's the best way you can actually go and do it. So let me come back to my Eclipse and set a breakpoint here. Okay, and now I am going back and hitting the go button in our browser, and it has now stopped here. You see, now if you don't know the debugging concept, there is again how to debug uh, one video I have already uploaded wherein I have explained all the features, what you can do in your debug thing. Okay, so go and watch that video. You will understand how you can debug. So say I'm just set a breakpoint which is hit here. Now let me just go and see what is happening. Oh, there is nothing which is actually coming here. And then LT output, my LT output is blank. So this is okay. This is also fine. So now it has actually called this second time, and with this second time probably it is going in. I am getting my filter here, and the filter has got what first name, and there is one range table which has I equal Munir. Okay, this seems to be fine. If the first name, let me just check whether it is all or not. So if you see here, the first name is Munir. I am just checking whether it is not all. No, it is not all. Then my LR first name will be filled in, and LR first name has I equal Munir, which is correct. Now using that, I am just checking whether my entity is GMAKS cust or not. And yeah, GMAKS cust contact, which is fine. And then it will go and hit my uh, class to actually get the values. So let us go and see how it is happening. Geo instance will be blank, so it will be created now. And then using that instance, I am going and calling my get data. So what I am doing here, contact ID. Okay, I am getting my contact. Yes, I am getting my contact. And for that contact, I am getting my address also. And I am getting my address. Yes, there are two addresses. And then for that addresses, I'm just filling. If there is any address, just loop at that address and fill in. And let me come here till this part. What is my GT output? This is fine. All the data has been given properly here. Let us go back and see what we are getting in our LT output. The LT output is also going fine. Okay. And oh, it is actually this end loop should be on top here. You see, this should be here. That is one thing. And then I am just going and saying response, and this is working fine, guys. Okay, but why it is giving error uh, here, I will just check, because I think maybe paging or something is not implemented here. Okay, so let me check that for you guys and come back soon. When we go to our browser, okay, let me show you that. The query says query not fully covered by implementation. It is missing a paging information, guys. Okay, so for that, what we have to do is we have to add the paging related code also in our class method that we have implemented. I have, let me quickly go and implement that and show you. Let me show you what we should do in our Eclipse. So let me go to Eclipse quickly and show you that. So in our Eclipse, what I have done is we have to go and add the page related information as well. You see, top and skip is what we need to actually go and get. Now, the top, you will get it from IO request, and get paging, get page size is what will give me the top. and skip will again from the get paging, get offset will give me the skip. Okay, using these two values when we are actually filling in, once we get that, then everything will work properly because the set data will actually use the LV top and LV skip, because depending on that it will work. That is how the framework works in RAP framework. Okay, so now let us again go and see with this change what is that is happening uh, to our uh, report now. Okay, so let me go to our browser, refresh it again, then let us see how we can actually go and pass it. Okay, so let me just say, okay, please get me all the records for Munir. And you see there are two records which we were getting. I can also give a wildcard here. I'm saying, okay, one is Munir. Okay, the second one that I need is give me also anything that has RI in it. And you see, it has given me Farida and Priya. These two are also given to me. So even the wildcard is working here, guys. Okay. Remember this point that you have to code in such a way that everything will be taken care in your code. Now, from where this whole thing is um, taken care is, let me go to Eclipse and show you that as well. So in our code that we had in our custom uh, class that we have created, okay, I am saying please get it everything where the first name in, okay, not equal to here. And this is where it is making the difference that even the wildcard is actually being considered. Okay. Now, once this is done, let me now go back and show you the uh, uh, the detail there. Okay. Ideally speaking, we will not be giving any detail here. Uh, you can watch my previous video that when we convert this to our Fiori report, there is a way that we can actually uh, stop this navigation here. Okay, so using some concept of SAP BAS or Visual Studio Code, where it allows us to actually, you know, change this to not to be going to uh, the detail page. Okay, so this will be pretty much similar to just a single page display only report, which will allow you to just go and actually convert this to your export or to PDF or Excel. Okay, that's the only thing we can give. Now, in my case, I also wanted to show you that just in case if the person wants, there is so many things there, uh, and the user is not able to see all the details. If he wants to go and see it in the detail page, you can still do that. Okay. Now it will not work because if I go there, it will give me that, okay, there is a duplicate resource reference and stuff like that. So let us now see how we can actually go and change our code or tweak our code in such a way that this error also can be rectified. So let us now go to our Eclipse and see how we can go about making those change. Now what happens in our Eclipse is that okay, when it comes to our class, the custom class, let me close this, let me close this. When it comes here, right, it will always fetch me all the data depending on the filter that is being passed. So in this case, we might have seen that we have got 4 records, but when I click on any of the record, I should further filter this based on the selected values. Now, how that will work is that whenever the whenever the row is actually selected, our filter data will have a different values in it. Okay, it will have a different value in it. It will have two other records, one for the first name and the contact ID, and the second for the address ID. Because what it will do is whenever we click on that record, it will fetch all the key values and it will pass it in our filter record. So here we will have to actually manage that. How we will manage? We will say when it is say contact ID, or when it is an address ID. Okay, is it contact and address ID? Contact ID and address ID. Yes. Okay. So if in these scenarios also, we need to go and actually fill in our values. Okay. So for that, what I will be doing is I will be going and creating two more variables for myself. Okay. I will say LV first name type this same first name, and LV address ID, sorry, not first name, but the contact ID, LV contact ID, and this will be same as the contact ID of this particular entity, and address ID type the address ID of this entity field. Okay. So what I'm doing is address ID and contact ID and what it has. CMAKS, ZMAKS, ZMAKS cust contact and address ID. Okay. This is what two variables I am defining now for myself. Okay. And then once that is done, right? If it, I am just trying to actually get it here. I will say my LV contact ID is nothing but from that filter value, the range table, it will always give one record, guys. Okay. But still I am using it with optional. Similarly, for my address ID, I will get the LV address ID. Okay. These two I am going to actually go and fill in. So it will always have one contact ID and one address ID that it will give. And finally, what I will do is I will check whether my contact ID is actually filled in or not. Okay, so what I will do is I will come here once my data is been fetched. Here I will say filter for object page record, something like this. And here I will just say if my contact ID is my contact ID is not initial, then you just loop it, get the contact ID and the address ID. Okay. If they both are not equal to what is selected, just delete it. Okay. I will say not equal to here, or this is not equal to, then just delete them. Okay. Now, once we do this change, right, what will happen to our application? Let us go and find out. So let me go to my browser now. Okay. And in my browser, let me go back, refresh this application, get the data for what I need. Okay. I'm now getting it for my contact. There will be two records. Yes. And when I go in now, you see, now it is just filtering the data and just giving me the one thing. Now, all those things that you see here, this is coming as uh, my title. These are my headers. You know, these are two different tabs that I have actually added here using two different facets. This one is my address facet. So remember that all these things you can actually find those annotations in your uh, in my earlier video. Go and watch my earlier video on RAP read-only application where I have actually explained all this concept. Okay, so this is how you can actually create your complex ABAP report. Though I have not shown you all that complexity that I have shown you in the normal S4 report, but you get the idea. The same method, the same logic that you have there, get it in one class method, pass whatever values that you have to pass to that particular method for filtering your data, and then once it is filtered, utilize the same set of code with a slight tweaking on your report, on your code. Okay, once that is done, then it is very easy for you to just go and understand. Now the important thing that you should remember when you are actually coding a custom entity is, let me show you that as well, that the important point here is that you should always have your pagination defined. You should always check whether the data is requested, yes or no. These kind of things you should remember, that okay, you have a IO request and IO response that is being actually used to actually fill your data back. You check your IO request, fill in your data, fetch in your data, and then finally in your response you just set those data in. Okay, remember to filter if you want to use the object page pagination there as well. Okay, so this is how you can go about uh, doing your whole thing. So with that, I would like to stop here, guys. Hope this series was also uh, helpful for you guys to understand actually the concept. Once you know the concept, then it is very easy for you to go and build your own complex report into RAP. With that, I would like to request you to please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon so that the new notifications will also be sent to you. Thank you and happy learning.